Hey younger agents, it's Kase. I'm sorry that I have not made a video in a long time. If you are a member of the Facebook group for this page, then you might have seen that I posted that I had death in the family, and unfortunately that was my mom. I promise this video is not going to be some sappy sad like I lost my mom video. In fact, kind of in the background of all this, to keep myself sane and try to remember my mom and everything that's happened in a good light, I've done some like rogue videography, and I want to share that with you guys. My mom's death was completely unexpected, and it happened right after Thanksgiving, and we literally had the most amazing Thanksgiving ever. We spent it with one of my best friends and her family, and it was amazing. And then the next day we went to see my grandma, who was sick in the hospital, and we even abducted her, took her to, she was in a nursing rehab facility, I should say. And, you know, we took her out of that and we took her to dinner, and Mom and I just had like a really great time. Like, it was weird. She connected with her ex-mother-in-law she hadn't seen in forever. And we just talked about a lot of important life stuff. And if I could remember my mom in any way, I am so thankful that the universe, God, like allowed me to have that Thanksgiving the way that I did, because it was perfect.
Sammy.
I do have Sammy.
My friend is bringing up the little chihuahua.
So we're here with Grandma. Say hi, Grandma.
I'm not Grandma.
And that's Mom.
I don't know who he is.
Some weirdo that came in off the street.
No, get out of my room. You're in the wrong room. Get out of here.
The Alzheimer's is really kicking in.
Get out. Whoa, them is fighting words. Look at you.
Love you.
Love you.
The one thing that I have taken away from this that I truly want to, express to you guys is the importance of relationships in our lives. And I know this is supposed to be a series of real estate videos, but my mom's a big part of my real estate career. She's part of some of the happiest moments of my real estate career. When I got a special cover for Orlando Magazine. Like, she sent it to literally everybody she knew and took it around with her, and she'd like drop it off at doctor's offices that didn't have a copy. Being in real estate allowed me to buy my mom a car, and if I find that video on Facebook, I'm gonna take it off Facebook and I'm gonna post it to the channel, because that was one of the most fulfilling moments for me in my career, to give back to my mom. So I'd love to share that moment with you guys. And so yeah, my mom was a really big part of my career and kind of getting me to where I am. But with her death being as sudden as it was, my mom used to be very close to her two sisters and my uncle. She was more close with my uncle than her two sisters. And it's always been this back and forth thing. My mom came from a family of 7. So she had like older brother, Walter, my Aunt Diane, her, my Aunt Joanne, and then there was my Uncle Christopher, who passed away very little at like 2 years old, and then my Uncle Frank. So there were 7 kids in the family, and they had a death very young. My Uncle Walter passed away from a brain aneurysm, and now my mom and her sisters, they just all weren't really getting along. And the crazy part is my family, on my mom's side of the family, they're all so alike. They're so much alike that they don't get along. I realized this too when I had Thanksgiving with my grandma and my mom, that I'm kind of like the glue. And my grandmother on my mom's side was kind of the same way, because after she passed away when I was 6, my whole family kind of just went their own way. And it's been sad, and I've been kind of on the sidelines. Here I am, I want a big family. I want to do holidays and Christmases and Hanukkahs and everything. Like I like to spend time with those people. I always feel the best when I have those moments. They're very special to me. And as an adult, I really haven't had a lot of them. So the crazy thing though was my mom passing the way that she did. Like her sisters never resolved it. Like none of them, you know, they didn't say goodbye to one another. They hadn't been talking, and it really just helped me reflect on all the relationships I have in my life. Unfortunately, I'm not a stranger to death, especially in my family, but death in the capacity that I'm dealing with it with my mom is very different for me, because the burden of it falls on me. So, and what I mean by that is the business side of death, and, you know, handling the estate and handling, you know, bills and probate. Like I've never done that before in my whole life. Like I've sold houses that were in probate, but never have I ever dealt with it on my own. And this is something to take away, younger agents. Like I think it's really important that you guys really research the process and all the stress that family members go through when they lose a loved one, because I have a whole new respect, and I know if I work on another probate deal, the way that I handle it, not that I've ever not been compassionate or sympathetic or empathetic to anybody. I mean, that's kind of one of my flaws. I'm too nice to people. You know, if they're crying, I'm crying. Like that's always been me. But I definitely have going through this myself has made me realize how important it is to handle those situations with kid gloves, because it's death. No one ever expects it, and even if they are expecting it, they don't know how to handle it, and they don't know what to expect from the grieving process. And so anyway, that's just a little thing I want you guys to kind of work on. And I later on, maybe I'm going to do a video about probate. I certainly want to do more real estate topic videos. That's why you're here. That's why you're watching this channel. And I feel like stuff has gotten sidetracked a little bit. But again, I think it's kind of important that you guys know me and who I am and why I'm doing this. Her death has made me look at relationships differently. I wasn't expecting the number of people to reach out to me in the capacity that they did. There were people who, from my past, from like high school and middle school, and, you know, when I lived in New York, all of whom like reached out to me and were so lovely and amazing. And then my friends here in Orlando, who I've had so many times where I felt really lonely. And it's not that I didn't have friends and I was by myself. It's just that I've been really doing a lot of self-exploring, and I just felt like, you know, my parents love me and they're there for me the way that they can be, but they don't understand business the way that I understand business. They've never owned a business. They've never dealt with people in the capacity in the way that I deal with people being in real estate. And so sometimes it's hard when, you know, you go to your parents and you want to look up to them like they're ever and all-knowing, and sometimes they're people too. They don't know everything. And so there are times I felt a little alone, because even my friends were in the same boat. They didn't know what to tell me because they haven't been to where I've been. But relationships are important, and I was just so blown away and just feeling so grateful. My friends helped me throw the celebration of life for my mom, which I have a really goofy video of. Oh yeah, the most important thing. My dad, who has never been to Florida in the 15 years that I've lived here, flew down. He's terrified of flying, and he flew here. Like, that happened. The celebration of life happened, and my friends all came together and threw this amazing reception for my mom. And I couldn't have, it was great. It It was really great. My mom would have loved it. It wasn't sad. It was heartfelt, but we played all her favorite music. There was good food. I danced a little bit. Yes, I danced. I forced myself to. And it was great. But what's sad to me is that, you know, my aunt who did get to go and my uncle, they were so devastated, like, because they didn't get to talk with my mom. They didn't resolve anything. And honestly, I probably would have felt the same way too if it weren't for the fact, like, I was able to have Thanksgiving with my mom the way that I did. And you know, she had been making a really good effort to, you know, be present for me, especially in the past couple months. So it's important that you guys really look at all of your relationships in your life. And you know, I know it's important for me now more than ever to make sure I tell people what they mean to me. And it's hard. It is hard to be that vulnerable, especially when you've been hurt in the past. But I know for me, and I don't know if any of you guys have had this same experience, but it's very hard for me I could open up and tell people what's going on, but I never show them how I'm really feeling about it, if that makes sense. I don't get emotional about it. I kind of let them peek in, but I don't really open up. And especially in a situation like this, it was really hard for me to ask someone for help when I was like, oh my God, I'm drowning in all of this. And I let people show up for me. And there were people who showed up who I wasn't expecting to. Anyway, now I have to edit this, and gosh, it feels like it's been such a long time since I've done a video. But I don't want you guys to fret. I made some really fun videos with my dad, one which was after the celebration of life, and I was actually really enjoying myself because I had all these people I loved about in one area, and we had such a great night. But my dad's an interesting character, and him and I just play off of each other really, really well. So I think we're a little entertaining. I'm not sure. Hi, Mark. You're in video. Sorry. Hi, Dad. And Ginny again.
You're posing. And I don't have video, so I should probably move.
No, it's okay.
Dad back to the nursing home.
Yeah, Dad has to go to the nursing home. Right, Dad?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
You got that little...
Well, be safe, everyone.
Bye. I have a couple goofy videos. I want to share it. And I'm going to share some more. And the one thing that, on top of seeing how important relationships are through this time I'm going through, is also it's uncovering these different parts of me that I also realize are important to my journey. And I think I'm going to make another video about that later. But I wanted to let you guys know, thank you so much for your support and for keeping in touch and watching my videos. And I promise we're gonna get back to real estate as soon as possible. And I just wanted to do a shout out to Cameron, who just subscribed to the channel. Go Cameron. I don't know if you're in real estate. I don't know if you're about to get into real estate. Feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to connect with you, and thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do click the subscribe channel button. And this is going to be a series that I'm going to talk about a bunch of different things. It's mostly real estate, but it's a little bit about my life, which is all real estate. So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to me. It's been a really, really tough couple weeks, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Bye now.